Hello everyone, welcome to my case study vlog. The locations we're visiting today are the agricultural fields near the Haarweg and the nature area near Wageningen, which is called the Binnenveldse Hooilanden. The research I did in these areas was about the quality of the water in the ditches. I compared the quality of the water in the agricultural field to the nearby area. I hypothesized that the quality would be better in the nature area. In the area near Haarweg, which you can see here, the land is first fertilized using plant residue. This can leach into the ditches and cause eutrophication. The ditches do not look very clear and have a strange color. This can indicate low quality of the water. As you can see, there is a large amount of fertilizer just laying there, and together with the rain, it has created a gross-looking puddle. This water can also leach into the nearby ditches and pollute it. Next, you can see the crops that are planted in this area. Here you can find beets, wheat, corn, potatoes, and grassland. Can you guess which one this is? Another observation that can be made in this area is the excessive plant growth in and around the ditches. You can see a lot of nettles, which can indicate a very nutrient-rich soil with a low pH. This can be caused by the use of fertilizers. Here you can see the grassland, which is also part of this area. To check whether the water was indeed nutrient-rich and with low pH, I did some measurements. Here you can see the spot where I did my first measurement. And here you can see it even more closely. I measured using a cup, which I filled with water from the ditches. It was very difficult to reach the ditches, but I managed to do it using a tree. I measured the pH and the electric conductivity. If the pH is between 6.5 and 8.5, it is a positive indicator for the water quality. Now that we've seen the first area, it's time to move on to the next one. This is a protected nature area called the Binnenveldse Hooilanden, and it is part of the Natura 2000, but it was only created recently. It used to be an area for agricultural purposes, but in 2015 Staatsbosbeheer, Stichting Mooi Binnenveld and corporatie Binnenveldse Hooilanden made a plan to turn it into nature. After the Second World War, when the food demand increased, the intensive agriculture in this area began. Dewatering and exploitation of the area, combined with the use of fertilizers, caused a decrease in the biodiversity. It was the mission of Staatsbosbeheer, Stichting Mooi Binnenveld and corporatie Binnenveldse Hooilanden to return the area to the state it was in before 1950. The project to increase the biodiversity has started quite recently. In 2015, the three parties were asked by the province of Gelderland to make the development plan for the Binnenveldse Hooilanden. These plans were finished recently. The plan included the excavation of the nutritious topsoil and getting the water level at maaiveld, which creates a less nutritious soil and increases the biodiversity. If you listen closely, you can hear a lot of birdsong. We are in the middle of the breeding season, and this area seems to be quite popular. It is also popular for many cyclists and has an easy access due to the asphalt paths. However, you're not allowed to leave the path because the nature area is protected. This made doing measurements in this area a bit more difficult for me, as I could not reach the water from the paths. Finally, I had permission from Stichting Mooi Binnenveld to do a few measurements near the entrance, if I promised to stay near the path and not to disturb any of the nature. Another difficulty I had to face was the wetness of the land. As you can see, there's a lot of water on the surface, which made it a bit more difficult, and sadly, I got my socks wet. But in the end, it was worth it, because I did all my measurements. What I discovered when looking at the results was that in both areas did not seem to differ very much. I had assumed that they would differ, but when they didn't, I was very confused. Then I realized I did my measurements during a period of heavy rainfall, which could have messed with the results. Even so, there was still a small difference in the results. I found that although the EC was very low in both areas because of the rain, the EC was lowest in the nature area. This means that the water had less nutrients in it compared to the agricultural area, which can be explained by the lack of fertilizers that are added to the soil. In the end, I enjoyed the research, especially going to the nature area. The Binnenveldse Hooilanden are very beautiful, and while filming this, the weather was very lovely. I advise you all to visit the area and enjoy the nature. Bye!